Yeah. Good evening. Good evening. One more Tuesday. We have today our wonderful guest and one of the Microsoft trainers, one of the regional lead. But before I say about him anything, let me introduce him on this way because when I was trying to start the journey with the technologies like Windows Server and this and that, and I checked on LinkedIn a couple of minutes ago that I opened my account in 2009, October, and there was one person that was always popping up, and that was our guest tonight, Sasha Kranjac. Sasha, welcome, dobrodošao I sve ostalo.
Welcome. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine, good. A little bit exhausted because I just landed from Ignite from Chicago, but I'm good.
Nice. Tell us, how was in Chicago, first of all?
I was okay. It was a refreshment. If you compare it to the previous years, it was a famous conference center in Chicago, but it was like, I think roughly 12,000 people. So it's okay. It's far away from the pre-COVID 35,000 people in Orlando. But I don't know, maybe next year in November, San Francisco, going to be even more, because I think if it's San Francisco, then it's highly likely to be the famous Moscone Center, which can host 20,000 people. So we'll see.
Okay. A lot of new things. I must be honest. A lot of new things I tried to follow, but it was quite enormous new thing. Copilot, AI, Azure Local, network, this, that, storage, changes.
It was everything. It was everything. Yeah.
A lot of things. Thoughts about that, if I may say? What you were focused more? I know you're working security also a lot.
Yeah.
But did you went on the security Copilot maybe?
Oh yeah. Well, I've worked with that a little bit before. So I already knew something about it, and other Copilots, and especially security one. But still, it was okay to see the. You can't go everywhere because there were a lot of parallel sessions, and then there were a lot of hands-on labs, and I also had some duties there, and so in some meetings, so I couldn't be everywhere. But it's if nothing else, a lot of things have been streamed. But the important thing, like networking and talking to people live, you can't match that. So it's online is okay, but also the in-person has its own pleasures and perks, and I think everyone should at least once go to Ignite. I mean, to experience the hype and the size of it. So maybe not this one, but maybe next year, or when the Orlando size will be again the size of the Ignite, then but we'll see.
I think, Orlando was the year before COVID, or I'm wrong?
It was 17, it was 18 and 18 and 19 as well. So that was it. It was in the Orange County Convention Center, which is the huge one.
Indeed.
And hosting 30,000 plus people.
Wow.
I remember that because my leg hurt so at that time.
Indeed.
Yep,
nice.
Almost like nearly 100,000 steps in 5-6 days. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot. Nice. If I may say, what is your not takeaway, but what it left in your mind now? For example, if I wake you up tonight in 3 a.m. in the morning, and say, Sasha, what do you first remember from Microsoft Ignite? What is that?
I mean, from anything or just
anything? From anything.
Oh, well, it was the AI and security is in center of everything. So that was my feeling in terms of in terms of the the
Thoughts.
technologies that the
Yeah, yeah,
internet was organized around. So that was the first thing. Security and AI and security. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, if we have a, I don't know, some side product, then
yeah.
there is the emphasis on AI on that product and the security on that product as well. So yeah,
Nice,
something like that.
nice, nice,
Maybe
nice.
because
That's
I'm
good.
biased, or maybe because I'm looking for these things.
Yeah,
That's the same thing when you have a kid, then you get a kid, and then you all see strollers. Or when you want to buy a red car, then you just see all around red cars. Maybe this is the same thing. So
indeed,
yeah,
indeed, that's true. We
yeah,
usually, it's a good
yeah,
example I must share with you. Basically, when we got my wife, when the first time she get pregnant,
yeah.
whenever you go, you see pregnant woman. You don't see normal woman anymore.
Yeah,
Anywhere you
that's
see
it.
the
Yeah,
big one. Indeed, indeed, indeed. I
true
agree
that.
on that.
Yeah,
Nice.
but yes, but also if you look at a book of news, and then there's a lot of security and AI, so in there. So yeah, that's the every AI is everything, and security is also everywhere. So its emphasis was also
Indeed,
there.
indeed.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will add the cherry on the top. I think also between AI and security is the data, if I may be honest
Oh
with you,
yeah,
or
yeah,
what?
exactly.
Yeah,
Dataverse,
what I see also,
Fabric
indeed.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So everywhere it's happening that one. So everyone, yeah, we are using AI, we are using security, and
yeah,
basically in the middle, it's really like a cherry on the top is the data, which everyone is
exactly.
sharing everywhere, and basically they need just to be more careful or
Yeah.
aware about the security and all that stuff, how they use
Yeah,
it.
I
Indeed.
think I even saw some slide somewhere that exactly shows what you actually said. Fabric, security, and AI, like three things that
Yeah,
were
yeah,
that
yeah,
were
yeah,
there.
yeah. I
Yeah.
started exploring 6 months. To be honest, Azure I am covered. I passed most of the exam because I'm working all
Uh-huh.
that stuff. But a couple of months ago, I started Fabric, and I'm really interested to see how it will go because it's doing magical things, if I may say
Yeah.
like that, and it's a lot complex. First of all, but once you understand the foundation of that, how that goes left, right, or in the middle, basically, then you can play around and all the stuff. But it's
Yeah.
really complex system and
It
it
is.
will be interesting to
It
see
is.
how it will go on that roadmap there. Indeed. Let me
Exactly.
put you back in the past. When Sasha started with his computers, with his games, with his security, what was your first computer?
It was Sir Clive Sinclair
Okay.
Spectrum. it
Spectrum.
was it was
Wow.
the late 70s, early 80s. Early 80s
Early
actually, but before that I also laid my hands on 16 kilobyte Galaxia. It was the Galaxy, the old,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the, with the
I didn't
metal,
experience. I have seen on the internet this what you are saying now. Just
yeah,
as an info.
metal chases, yeah. So yeah, I got also, then the first book I got was obviously the instruction manual with ZX Spectrum, but also I bought a book about the programming in assembler. So I was programming in assembler. That was the first thing I learned. So I
Wow.
was going the hard way. Yeah.
Really
So
funny.
yeah,
Wow. So that is where
I went.
Sasha starts basically. Spectrum, assembler, and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and then randomize USR and so on. So I had to figure out where the infinite lives in games are stored. So I I did that. So
Wow.
I need a lot of gold and a lot of lives. So
Indeed, indeed,
yeah.
indeed. So basically, you catch the first internet, if I may say, in that type of scene, if I may say like that, or not.
Yeah,
When
like
it was first time connected, everyone have internet or la la la.
well, actually, the internet came a little bit later, but yeah, but then it was magnetic. Yeah, the tapes and everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I know the
yeah,
tapes.
and yeah, and so it was then the Commodore, then Amiga.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Wow.
it was fun. Yeah, it was really, yeah.
Indeed. I remember now. Maybe I forgot also to ask the previous, to be honest, but now it triggers me. I remember my neighbor have something like, let me see, something like these diskettes, for example. This was
Oh
so
yeah,
big, and I remember he said, "This is Aladdin. You need to put that inside, and you can play something like Aladdin, if I remember good, or something like
yeah,
that." It was. Maybe I'm wrong. What
yeah.
computer was that?
Yeah, I had actually even older. So I had the audio cassettes, audio
Yeah,
tapes.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then the player. So we need to you just start play and then press play and then load it. It took like 5-6 minutes to load 48 kilobytes.
Indeed.
So
Wow,
but
really long
it was
time
okay.
ago, if I may say like that.
But it was fun.
Completely.
So yeah, 8-bit music
Yeah.
and 8-bit colors. Yeah, nice.
Ooh, nice, 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 nice. What was your first game that you
First
ever
game.
played? Yeah, except Super Mario on Nintendo and all that stuff. On
Oh,
the
that was later.
computer.
I think
Yeah.
it was the I don't know who did it, but it was Cartoony Wolf. I think I don't know who. Ocean probably. No, it wasn't Ocean. Either Ocean or some. I can't remember who was the producer. But actually, let me Google the Bing or Bing to Google.
Bing the boom.
Uh, yeah, and that was the Elite
Elite.
Systems, and yeah, and then that was the Elite Systems, and before that was even that was 84, and then before that was something else, but I can't remember. But I remember this one I played a lot. So this is the
Indeed.
first thing that I remember. I just wrote some basic programs, and
Yeah.
during these couple of years. So and then played a little bit later. So when we laid hands on it. So yeah.
So if I connect the dots now, you started with assembly, then Commodore, the games. You're catching the internet and free version. You're still typing MS-DOS, if I may ask, say it like that. Correct?
Well, yeah, I
Or
do
not?
have one black and white Toshiba laptop
Yeah.
with Word 6 and Windows 3.11 in there. So
Wow.
it's still working.
3.11. Windows
Yeah,
3.11.
yeah.
I know in the past I catch that time a little bit. I remember the books that they were really this type of big, if I may say like that. Like you're reading Dostoevsky, if I may say like that, this big.
Oh yeah,
One book, yeah.
yeah.
What was the first book after the programming about assembly? Did you get Windows or did you continue on the development side, if I may ask like that, mate?
Then I went to what was it? And then was the Atari after that, and then it was Windows actually. Yes, it was
Yeah.
8086. Yeah, Windows 3.0, 3.1.
3.0.
Yeah.
3.0 or 1? Indeed. That was the,
Yes.
indeed,
I
there
can't
was a
remember
book
which
that
was. I think it was 3.1 then. Yeah.
point 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That was
Wow.
that was the first. And in the
What
same
type of
time there was
application you have on that? If I may ask like that, what type of applications you have? For example, calculator, recycle bin, and all that stuff. If I may say like that.
oh no, you had actually I was doing what was it? I remember I can't remember the year, but actually it was the uh I was still working in Autodesk AutoCAD that ran in DOS. So that was the app. Yeah, you ran it from
Yeah,
DOS.
yeah,
So yeah,
indeed. .exe, I
and that
suppose. You
was yeah,
type the
and
name and
yeah,
that .exe.
some yeah, actually some the word processors. I think it was I can't remember the name, but I know that the word processor it was very hard to do because you did it in DOS and you had to put wildcard characters like apostrophe B or C or whatever to bold italic and so on. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then a mixture of that, the Pascal and C and C++ and some COBOL and I
In
don't
a
know
row. In a row. In a row. Did
mix.
you? Yeah. from the starting in the school, if I'm asked you like that, because for example, I think you notice the same as a Microsoft trainer. For me, it's also the same issue. The people now, when they finish primary school, they see computers are everywhere, AI,
Yeah.
programming, and this. Where should we go? How should we proceed? And all that stuff. Is for Sasha was the similar, or he knew that he will be, I don't know, developer, admin in that period. Basically, there were two different roles, if I may say like that, developer and admin. That was it, IT support, if I may say like that, in that period. Do you continue on the development side, or you went on the IT admin side, if I may call it like that?
I went to the IT pro side, so the you know the
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. So just well, but I did a little bit of that in parallel. So because I had to learn Pascal and C. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, I went with that. So I
indeed. So yeah,
did some
I'm calling
programming
that.
development there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
in I'm usually, when discussed with some friends and all that stuff, I'm saying what is now DevOps in 2000, 1999, 1998, it was IT admin doing all the stuff, because the
exactly.
developer is copied the program to the under some Windows, and then he
Yeah.
restart. You need to know how to restart the information. How was Internet Information Service, IIS.
Oh yeah,
Basically, you
yeah,
need in services restart the system if it gets stuck, stop, start, and all that
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and then to take the file. So I think we were some type of a DevOps from the previous, if I may say, early 2000. Let's call it like that.
Yeah. Even worse, we had to set up the interrupt request numbers in order to set up the graphical card or sound card or network card,
Yeah, yeah.
memory addresses, RQs, and stuff. So in order to work correctly.
Indeed, indeed, indeed,
Yeah,
indeed,
yeah,
indeed. Did you make the configurations by yourself, if I'm asked
yeah,
like
yeah.
that?
Of course, we had to do it. So yeah, otherwise it didn't work. Yeah.
Indeed. I never remember the pins. You remember the small things, those with the, I
The
think,
jumpers.
pins, jumpers, not
Yeah,
the
yeah,
pins. Indeed.
yeah, yeah.
So I was
Exactly.
always missing what was it, and then I will take the book from the motherboard, and then you try
Oh
to
yeah,
figure it out what is goes where,
exactly.
basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Indeed.
That
It
was
was
it.
funny times. I don't know if it because it was new, or it was really we didn't have internet, we didn't have anything in that period, so it was tough to
Yeah,
basically learn all that stuff.
yeah. But and then came internet, so it was really slow. I remember, yeah, remember turning off pictures because it's in order to load more faster. So
Indeed,
on Netscape
indeed.
Navigator.
Ooh, Netscape Navigator, indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
And how was the chat? Well, there was a chat program.
Oh well, it was the BBS. You mean?
No, the AOL something. I
American
think
Online. Yes.
indeed something
Yeah.
like that. I remember on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be honest, and you
Exactly.
have email address also and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was fun.
indeed. How you continue after that, my friend? If I'm asked like that, where you go? For example, now you're IT pro. You know that you want to certify yourself. You buy some new books. You continue to volunteer somewhere, to go to work somewhere, or how it goes.
Oh, fast forward a couple of years, then it was the end of the high school,
Yeah,
and worked with computers and did some trainings. Actually, back then in the during the university time as well,
yeah,
and started working as a trainer in locally and doing stuff, and
yeah, yeah.
like a cable guy and hardware guy and so on. So even and
Reinstall Windows, reinstall the
yeah,
computers.
and then actually I thought about getting certified, but it was uh, there were no centers nearby,
Yeah,
and have been very busy and couldn't do it a little bit earlier at the time that I wanted, but actually started at the 2000 and early 2000 actually
yeah, yeah,
started
yeah, yeah.
taking some exams, and so Windows, what was the Windows 2000, even before, something like that.
Windows 2000.
or even before that one. I think it was Windows 2000, somewhere in
Yeah,
early 2000, year 2000. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. And
When
shortly after that, went became an MCT as well.
wow. So you're from which age? Oh, sorry, which year you are MCT, if I may ask like that?
I think it was 2006 or 7, 6, 7, something like that.
6, 7.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's really beginning of the new millennium, Sasha, to be
Oh
honest,
well,
mate.
yeah, but I know people that are started in 95, or yeah, even
What they
yeah.
were teaching, if I may ask like that?
Oh, NT4, NT4.
NT4.
There was the Microsoft Fisher course for MS
Okay.
DOS and NT4. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, NT4 server, NT4, yeah. So yeah, exactly. And
How
MS
old are
DOS as
those
well.
people? How old are those people,
Oh
dinosaurs?
well, late 50s, late 50s, early 60s. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
NT4, and they saw all this stuff that is happening, AI, and where
And the MS DOS, but yeah, there were the times that these exams were really hard. Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
imagine the systems were hard. I can imagine the
yeah,
exam.
yeah. Yeah, it was
Wow.
fun.
Indeed, true. So tell me, in 2006, you're becoming the MCT. What is your, how to say, favorite training that you're giving in that period? Windows Server 2003 or no?
Yeah, I did Windows Server 2003 a lot. I
Okay.
did Exchange 2003 as well, and yeah, ISA server. I was doing ISA server.
Oh, iServer. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
ISA
I
server
have
as
one
well.
question for the Exchange. From when is the official, the first version of Exchange? Do you know or not? I'm just
So what's
asking
the
because I don't know. Official first version where Microsoft says, yeah, this is the Exchange. It will be used for mails and blah, blah, blah.
um? I don't know.
Does
I
it
know.
have
I
before
worked.
something? Does
I
it
I
have something
remember
before
when I
2003?
was working with prior to 2003, but I forgot what it's being called. What was the version? 5.6? No, except I can't remember that. I think,
Yeah.
was it the Exchange 5.5? Oh, or I can't remember really. But I know that I was teaching 2003 and worked with versions before that. So I can't remember what was
So
the
there
version
was a
exactly.
versions before 2003, if I may ask like that.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah,
yeah,
for the
Exchange.
Exchange.
I don't know why 5 or 6 something is in my
Yeah,
mind, something like that. But I don't know. I forgot.
yeah, no, yeah, no. I was just
Yeah.
curious because I never came to my mind. Now you trigger me with. Does it have anything, something or something like Exchange before Exchange 2003? For example, for Windows Server, we know NT4, MS DOS, this and that for the operating system. But for the
Yeah, it
Exchange, it
was.
never came to my mind. That's why I asked.
Yeah, it was started from. I can't remember if it was one, but I'm not sure. I would have
Yeah,
to Google the
no
Bing or
worries,
Bing the
no,
Google.
no
But
worries.
it's yeah, Exchange 5 or something like that. If I think,
Okay.
yeah,
So there was a version that it's called Exchange and that can be connected. For example, I'm
yeah,
imagining now Martin and Sasha in 2002, 2001 want to open a company. They want to have a company mail address. So I was
yeah,
thinking, how in that period does it have Exchange? Does not
yeah,
exist?
yeah,
And all the stuff? Because for me, it was old 12, 13, 12, 13 years in that period. So that's why I'm curious. Does something was existing before Exchange 2003?
yeah,
To be honest,
yeah. It was,
first
yeah.
touch is from Exchange 2003.
Okay.
That's why I was asking. Indeed. So you're becoming trainer for Server 2003 and Exchange 2003. In
And
part, yeah.
yeah, Windows 2000, yeah, as well. I was
Oh,
certified in that as well.
wow.
Back in the days, there were, remember MCSEs, Systems
Yeah. I
Engineers.
remember. I remember on
Yeah,
those.
yeah. So yeah, I got these MCSA and MCSEs, and there
Wow.
were like MCSA and MCSE in security, and I know that was MCSE and MCSA colon security,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was, but I know I was in security as well. I had a specialization in security back in the day.
Wow, wow, wow. That's really from early 2000, if I may say like that, which is quite impressive, mate. To be honest with you now,
Something like that. Yes. Yeah.
listening you what you're saying, and I touched, I think, Windows Server 2003 and Exchange basically 2003 in my when I start working, if I may say like
Oh.
that, in high school, something like that. But nothing before that. I mean, like NT4, I have seen but never worked. I never knew something before Exchange 2003.
Oh.
I didn't have a clue. I was thinking Gmail, Yahoo, maybe, with
Oh.
the younger, the youngest,
Yeah.
the younger people. And
Uh,
basically, really quite
yeah.
surprised, that that was existing.
Yeah. I've worked also with the server version. Yeah. NT4. Yeah. With that too.
Wow,
It
wow.
was really, yeah, nice operating system back in the days.
Indeed, I think
Yeah.
not 2003, but what I can say really quite and one of the best in my experience, Windows Server 2008. I know it's too late now what
Uh-huh.
we are discussing, but 2008 was quite stable. 2003, it happened basically if you click open the CD-ROM to fail and you cannot sign in. It can happen on the local server. I remember that
Yeah.
one, and but I also remember that 2008 there was no IT person that ever complained, yeah, this version is not working properly.
Yeah.
Everyone was saying, yeah, good job, this is the best version, and so on and so on. But indeed, how they started and where they went with the 2008, 12, 16, 19, 22, and 25 now,
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
quite impressive.
I think everything for its age, it was for that period of time was okay. I mean, even I remember 2003 was quite solid. I mean, if you know what crashed always the operating system's bad drivers. So if the drivers were bad and they if the drivers weren't written correctly and actually set up correctly, interrupt requests and memory addresses and everything,
Yeah, yeah,
and if they haven't been WHQL, Windows Hardware Quality Lab certified, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
then these crashed just because the WHQL labs were tested drivers and hardware. So once you install the drivers that are certified, you didn't install new version of the drivers every 5 days, but actually
like now.
every 10 years, and
Indeed.
it worked. So if it ain't broken, don't fix it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. If
yeah,
it works, indeed, indeed, indeed.
and then it worked. So yeah, that was okay.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. Windows Server 2003, Exchange 2003, Windows Server 2000. When I hear these years, basically, somehow it's really back in the
Yeah.
past, if I may say like that. I can
Yeah.
imagine how it's for you with assembly and Pascal and C++, and all
See,
that
yes,
stuff.
actually, see, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's a
yeah,
lot of things and a lot of change, if I may say like that, which is
yeah.
quite difficult sometimes. Now, I'm usually the person that it's a little bit go in the past, go in the history, and I'm discussing at home with my wife. I started with Windows Server 2003. Do you know how much it changed from
Yeah.
2003? So I can imagine how it's for you. Hey, we started with assembly. Can you see
Yeah.
what is happening now? How I
And
mean
then
the
yeah,
difference.
it was a big change when you look at the Windows 3.11,
Yeah,
and then suddenly there came Windows 95, and then it was wow,
95. Indeed,
what a
indeed.
difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Indeed. 95, I think I just tried that one, but 98, I remember that I reformat a
Uh,
computer. You
yeah.
put a floppy, sorry, then you
Yeah.
put format C, enter, and then on the catch, you need to put the CD. So just to
Yeah.
make it
Yeah.
bootable, basically, and to start
Exactly.
installing. Indeed.
Yeah.
Wow, such a crazy times.
Yeah. Yeah. Sleepless nights.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed, indeed.
I
Oh,
don't know if
crazy
you
time.
I don't know if you played games.
Yep, in the past a lot, and I
So
remember my
yeah.
my first computer. Basically, when I bought the computer, it was I think beginning 2000, and I remember my father
Yeah.
was let buy to him a drums, basically, and my
Yeah.
mother was let's buy him a computer. It will be 3 boys at home, too
Much
much
quieter.
noise, and then the drums of Martin, it will be really too much for my
Yeah.
head. They bought me the computer, and I remember the friends of mine, they start giving me, Martin, this game is good, this game is good, Need for Speed 2000 or something, this game, that game. After
Yeah.
3 months, Sasha, the computer didn't want to start. My father came in the room and I said, what are these CDs? And I said, it's the games, to play and all. Does these CDs broke at the computer? Well, I'm not sure. I think I know who broke the computer, he said to my mother. He took the whole 20 CDs and throw it from the window, to be honest with you. Now give me the computer to leave to the service point to fix that, and I don't want to see any CD in this house.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how it was. Basically, I was playing a lot of games in the past. I'm more about the sport. FIFA, I remember FIFA
Yeah.
1998,
Yeah.
then 2000, Euro 2000 or something like that, NBA.
Yeah.
And who
Everything.
was the Generals? Age
Yeah.
of Empires, something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. General Zero Hour. So all of these I was playing, to be honest. There was a lot of others, but I really can't remember on those.
And there
But it
was
was
a LAN party, carrying all the stuff.
indeed, indeed. So there was a
Yeah.
lot of funny things happening in
Yeah.
that period.
Yeah.
And if I may make a difference now, how easy it is to search or find something. For example, do you remember if you want to crack the game?
Oh,
Because the
yeah.
game, you need to copy from the CD the exe, then to put in C program files or whatever the name of EA games or something, and then to find also GTA. I remember GTA 2000, I think it was one version. So there was
Yeah.
a lot of
Something like
games in
that.
that
Yeah.
period,
Yeah.
and no multiplayer, but it was still fun to play, if I may say like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well,
Missions, next stage, and all of that. So it was a big switch from flippers to
oh, yeah.
now the keyboard and all that stuff. It was upgrade for all of us, I would say.
Yeah.
Mustafa, and how was the Cadillac and Dinosaurus?
Yeah.
Snow, the one with the balls. I think Snow
Exactly.
was. Yeah. Those two games were really on the flippers. Your grandmother will give you money, and then you go, and then after
Yeah.
the first mission you lose, and then again, But this was really quite fun and big change, I would say, with the computers and all the stuff. But I think that's how we, all of us, if I may say like that, I'm happy to say that I catch that generation that
Yeah.
gain knowledge by ourselves. I know it sounds maybe selfish for the new generation, but there was no internet. It was just the books. It was, if I met Sasha, I will get some information. For example, hey, Sasha is writing this, doing that, learning this. But we were learning from the books, which was quite difficult in that period to read the memory,
We were
assembly, and
buying
all.
magazines as well.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And you get a demo or trial programs like Winamp and all that stuff was really trial. I was buying Buck. I think it was Buck the name or
Yeah.
something like Buck. I think it was one of the magazines in that period that came with the CDs and demo
But it was-
applications.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
You
before that,
install and then you think that you have the application. Then after 10 days, it's not working.
yeah. Yeah,
Crazy
there were.
stuff.
I remember when floppy disks also came with the magazines as well. So yeah, that was.
Ooh, that's really,
Or
really
even
crazy
before
stuff.
with no floppy disks at all. So they were like
Yeah, just the magazine, indeed.
just the
That's
magazine.
true.
You had to type the code and so on. So yeah.
Yeah. Crazy times.
Yeah.
Crazy times. So now we don't know which PDF to open first. I think with so many magazines and so much
Oh.
books, ebooks, and all that stuff. So how
Yeah.
in 24 years, 25 almost, 1 month already till 2025. 25 years basically. It was quite different, if I may say.
Yeah, because you got you got the manual, you got the book, you got the magazine, then you had a month until next magazine, or 15 days or 7 days to read it.
Yeah.
Now you have a ton of stuff and no time to read it, or actually no one's reading in this anymore. And even between operating systems, there were like 10 years or 5 or 7 differences. If you remember Windows resource kits, like Windows 7 resource kit, like 4,000, almost 5,000 pages. So Yeah, I
True.
still have those
True.
books, and then you read all of these 5,000 pages, and yeah,
Wow.
in depth. But now today, who does that? No one is publishing that or reading that because it changes so fast.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. Quite true. I mean,
Yeah.
I completely agree, and it's completely difficult
But
to
then
even.
we knew all the details about the operating system, so yeah, how it works.
Yeah,
And
System 32 and all that stuff, program files, and
yeah,
where what goes, where to install the applications and all that stuff.
yeah.
So
Hopefully, yeah, you can still find that documentation. It's a little bit buried, but you can still
yeah,
find that level 400 documentation on the Microsoft website.
yeah.
So yeah, that's also good. So
Mm.
actually, how Active Directory works, or some DNS or some, yeah,
I
deep
still think
deep
because
dive into packets. So yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can still find that.
When I
So
was starting, my first training was about Windows Server administration, Windows Server 2003 administration, to be honest with you.
yeah,
And I somehow was lucky to find these books and read these books. And basically, the Active Directory, I still think is the same foundation like we see
yeah,
now in 2025, and it's still working perfectly smoothly. Only the name is changed.
yeah,
That's a different story. We should not complain about that. But I want to say the foundation. It's really how was explained, written, and all that stuff.
yeah.
It's really
Was
interesting to
that
read.
was that the course name started with 2000 something like that?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That was my first one, and then I
yeah,
went to 2008, also server administration,
yeah,
and I get my first job, or if I may say like that, first practice
yeah,
period 3 months, then
yeah,
extension 1 year, and then indefinite, something like that. It was on a
yeah,
big company. But it's a quite a lot of changes, and I'm quite happy sometimes to be part of, or that I catch this in mid generation where there
yeah,
was a switch, if I may say, like, because for me, what you're saying now, you will learning the same, for example, Pascal, C++. In
yeah.
high school, I was learning also Pascal in the C++,
Uh-huh.
and I still think the C++ and this definition of the, how it's called, the XY and all that stuff
Oh,
is
the
still the
variables
same.
and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the variables indeed.
yeah,
So it's basically it's still the same, the type of how is this developed, how it
exactly.
works. We are talking about again 20 years ago, so it's still the
Yeah,
same, and I'm quite happy to be in mid of these generations and to
yeah,
catch something from
exactly.
the other and from this part.
Yeah, true
But
that.
it's really a lot of changes when I need to, even to explain tomorrow to your kids or to some young generation. They will
Yeah,
never understand how it's possible that we didn't have an internet. That's impossible. When my
yeah,
daughter, the oldest one, it's 8. When we discussed, and Daddy, you and mommy didn't have any internet.
yeah.
No, we didn't have any internet. How is that possible? We have now your
How old
phone,
are you?
my phone. Yeah. When we talk, and then she will play the YouTube on the television. You didn't have a YouTube on television, Daddy, when you were born? No, we didn't have. We have a
I
Tetris.
was I was the remote control.
Yeah, I was remote control.
I was the remote control, and then your father said, "Okay, please go there and change that program."
Change.
Like press the button.
Oh, how tough it is, and the kids and all that stuff, that it's completely
Yeah,
for them craziness how it was. And I think there
yeah,
was a nice advertisement a couple of years ago from the iPad or something, or from Apple, about the iPad. So
uh-huh.
they give to the some baby, 2-3 years old kid, and he is watching pictures and he's doing just scrolling,
Yeah,
up, 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 and then they give him a newspaper and he started crying basically. It's
yeah,
not working, so they give it back the tablet and he started again. So now
yeah,
it works again, and I think that's the biggest change, if I say like that, or how is happening. Also with them, I mean, if we start with the hardware, it's too much big changes in that period.
yeah,
I think the software was not prepared enough for the hardware that we have now in that period. I think
yeah.
the hardware was already there, but nobody
Exactly.
has published that because the software cannot support. If I
Yeah.
think like that, maybe I'm wrong, but
No, true that.
true. How Sasha continues after 2006 as a trainer now, and what is the challenge there, if I may say like that?
Oh, well, actually, I did two jobs in parallel. So,
Okay,
and
reinstalling computers.
well,
That was the first one.
I was doing that in the afternoon. So I
Side
was
castle. Call it side castle, Sasha. Be modern a little bit. That is
yeah,
called now side castle, in parallel.
exactly. And then I did something else in the morning, and then IT
Afternoon, night.
in the afternoon. So and evening
Yeah.
until I don't know a couple of years after that, and then I went only IT without any other things,
Yeah.
just IT. Yeah, it was.
What was your
Yeah.
first work experience, mate? You were Microsoft trainer, but when you started working for any company, for example, what was your first work experience?
Oh,
Installing
I was.
computers, making
Uh,
configurations.
well, I was a. Ins- I mean, you mean with computers?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh, because I had a lot of things. So yeah.
yeah.
So with computers, actually, it was training, but well, I did it in at the university. I held some curricula, so some what's the name of the labs,
Yeah, yeah,
and so yeah. But then I worked for a company that I went around to the client's place, customers'
yeah, yeah,
premises, and installed hardware and software, printers, troubleshooting, installing, repairing, and
yeah.
yeah.
Toner, driver, and all that stuff.
Yeah, monitors, servers as well, and then
Yeah.
like from hardware to software installations and troubleshooting and so on. So
Cool.
memory disks, tape drives, and backup systems and everything. Cabling,
Air
from yeah.
RG45. I think it was the name
Oh,
of the cable. Air,
before that, termination and
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
UTP, not
UTP.
UTP, but
You
the old cables, where you
with the if
before
you mean for
UTP.
the one that connects with the how it's called I know on what you mean on those with the where you need to
Oh, with screws, yeah, the chinches,
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So yeah,
Uh,
the coaxial cables, and yeah, that was the thing.
wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the basic and the first mainstream, if I may say, doing stuff and
yeah,
just fun, cabling and all that stuff.
networking with that, yeah.
Wow, wow,
Yeah,
wow.
that was it. Yeah, and then yeah, exactly. Then I did some training, and then uh, some other things, like some projects on architectural projects and so on. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was.
yeah. Okay. Okay, so Windows servers and all that stuff basically. That type
Oh
of
yeah,
stuff.
a little bit of
Yeah,
Linuxes, Unixes, and servers as well. I did that, and yeah, and after that, in the after 2010,
yeah.
then I had my yeah, then I started working exclusively with that, so with computers. So
Oh, no.
a little
And
bit.
IT Pro, correct? If I understand good,
Yeah,
IT
yeah,
Pro
exactly.
completely.
No development at all, just the
Yeah,
IT
yeah.
pro stuff. Yeah,
IT Pro side, indeed. Okay,
yeah, a little bit
okay.
after 2010. After that, so but I mean, 100% IT, not
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Clear. I get it. I was the same. What you
yeah,
explain now, it really makes me deja vu. My first experience was the same like you.
yeah,
Cabling, toner, driver, printer.
yeah.
Nobody knows how much time will take to install a driver on HP 1018 printer, the smallest one, that they
Oh
were
yeah,
printing so many stuff. So the
yeah,
driver sometimes can take 5 minutes, but sometimes 5 days, and it's not working. The printer is not working properly. So it
yeah,
can happen always with these
yeah.
drivers. True,
And
true.
especially SCSI drivers,
Wow,
and like IBM AS400 and AS400s and stuff. So yeah, that was.
wow. My biggest achievements for the printers, when I said now I know everything, it was the plotter. I don't know the English word. The plotter means the biggest one
Yeah, yeah, the
for
plotter. Yeah,
advertisement. I don't
yeah,
know if
exactly.
it's English word or something, but they were calling plotter for
Yeah,
one
exactly,
advertisement company, and they were printing their own. And I remember three
exactly.
cables need to be connected on special ports, one driver, then the second, the third one,
Oh
and it
yeah,
was
and
quite
then
expensive
yeah,
in that
exactly.
period.
Then you had a cutter as well, because yeah,
Yeah,
I installed these HP ones. Yeah, we had
HP. Yeah,
HP. Yeah, HP
Oh,
ones.
nice.
A0 format, A0 plus format actually.
A0, A0 plus, indeed.
Yeah,
Good,
like
good,
meter
good.
and a half.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
calling those for. I think it's advertisement places. You know where what we saw on the streets, and they are basically
Yeah.
1 meter, and basically depends how long they need to be.
I did it for some architectural and engineering companies, but also
Yeah.
for some faculties and some
Wow.
private companies. Yeah, but yeah, it was
Quite
fun.
funny. Fun
It was
because
fun.
you don't have the Google to Google it and to find, yeah, Sasha was installing this, he published a blog article, and now I can read how he have done that and all that stuff. Basically,
No,
you need to open the book and
exactly.
go step one, insert the CD in your
Yeah,
CD-ROM.
yeah, you learn from mistakes. Yeah, so
Yeah. True.
from older guys and from mistakes. Exactly. So
And then it's not working, then they will call you the next day, hey, it's not working, can you come and check? And then you see they started 10 copies at the same time, so the printer gets stuck. Then you need to restart the printer and all
I
that
got
stuff.
this. They told me that it didn't work, and then I came back and driving in the middle of the night and then I saw that I forgot to attach the power cable to the disk drive.
Yeah.
So.
It can happen. It can happen.
Exactly, and it didn't happen next time.
Yeah. The next time. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Till 2010, IT Pro. When it comes, Sasha, to catch the cloud technologies, if I may say like that.
The beginning when the Microsoft went with the beta version of Azure when it was Red Dog
14 or 13, 14. I'm not sure about that. I think it was
that was 12, 13, something like that.
12. Yeah.
It was not public yet, so I can't remember how, but I got the couple of thousands of dollars credits for the beta version to work with the beta version of Azure. It was called Windows Azure back then, and it was Windows actually Azure Service Manager back in the days.
Yeah.
And then also learn from mistakes. So, oh look, nice. Oh, virtual machines. Oh, so cool. I just spent like 5 of them and burned a couple of thousands of dollars they were supposed to last a couple of months, but actually I burned all of that in a week because I forgot to shut it. In the early days, you had to shut down the operating system, and then you had to manually deallocate memory and CPU.
So to be available if Martin wants to play around, I suppose.
Exactly. I shut down the virtual machines, but didn't deallocate. So this was still, the bill was still going on. So I burned all the money.
Do you remember which services were on the first beta version available? The Windows machine, I remember them.
Yeah, compute storage networking, then SQL after that, and some version and a identity, of course.
The Active Directory now currently.
Yeah, networking, compute, some databases, and that was it. And of course,
we're talking 2012, and I remember the first official with more services was the old portal in 2015, where you can find all of the services, or let's say most of them covered. That happened in 2015, if I remember good.
I know I got that money before it was public. So I can't remember which year it was. It was like what was the anniversary? 10-year anniversary was in 14 or
14.
Actually in 24, 23, and I started a year before that, something like that. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, but it was before that.
What was the first training in the cloud available? Because I don't remember, to be honest with you. It was AZ900 called or something like that?
No, it was I think 2533. I think
33. 2533, and it was called
or 32 or 30. So 25, 30, 31, 32.
Yeah,
33, 34. That was the IT Pro stuff, I think, in Azure. I think it was that. Yeah,
that was
was
about the cloud and the Azure compute network and all that stuff.
yeah, and even they had something before that. I think something. Yeah, something like that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So that's a professional, for those who are listening and don't know what it means, 25, 30, 31, 32. We as a Microsoft trainer, we don't remember the name of the training. We are focused on the numbers. And
On
that's
the
how
numbers,
we,
exactly.
yeah.
So now we have now the names of the courses and the name
Yeah.
of the trainings, and the exams are the same. So AZ
Yeah,
104 is the exam and the course, but previously it was, I don't know, if you had Windows XP,
2752.
Windows
2752.
XP troubleshooting, whatever it
Yeah.
was, course 6219 or something like that. So,
Yeah. Some numbers
and
basically.
or Exchange, I think Exchange was 2400, if I remember correctly. Exchange
2400. That's true.
2003, it was 2400 or something like that. So
Yeah.
and then you had it's you had a hard time to remember, but yeah, we did remember these.
Remember the numbers, not the names, basically. That was
I think Windows Server 2008 was 6000 something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And so on. So and then
I remember the
then-
trainings about the MCM Microsoft certified, how it was, specialist or something.
MCTS, exactly.
Yeah, 27550,
Technology
751, 752. Those three were Active
yeah, the
Directory.
courses, exactly, starting with 10 and then 20 and so on. So you had 10.993, for example. It was Windows
993,
desktop, Windows
Okay.
client something, and then you had 20, I don't know, 200 something, 300 something, and 500. 500 was Azure, 200 was, maybe, if I remember correctly, I don't know, 400 was Windows Server, and I don't know.
Clear. But the numbers are basically from the past, because for me,
exactly,
it was really early when I started as a trainer, and I still remember these numbers. You don't remember, and somebody will come. Is this Windows Server or is this? Well, I think it was Active Directory for Windows Server and not the Windows Server. Windows Server is a different, and all this stuff. So those are the numbers, and that's how it's called, professional deformation. I don't know the English. Maybe it's not deformation, but professional problem.
Something like that. It was
When you remember all the thoughts and all the stuff.
It was. It was. I think it's 2694. It was virtualizing enterprise access. I remember this one.
Clear.
Exactly.
Clear. So you're early started in the Azure, which is quite nice to hear. This, a really nice experience. You already have more than 10 years cloud engineer, if I may say like that. So 12 years of, almost 13 years of cloud engineer, if I may call like that. So nice. That's quite nice. And when it comes to security at your side, I mean, it's always in us, but because you're also as a book writer, if I remember good, but also you make a lot of presentations about security and all that stuff. When it comes here, if I may call it like that, 2012, 13, and in these 10 years, when the security is jumping, hey, Sasha, I'm security, you should focus maybe on this.
I was early in the days when also started with I don't know, I like security when I started working Windows with Windows NT4. But
in the cloud, I was thinking more about
in the cloud. It was before that, so I just continued to work with security. I was teaching ISA Server 2000, then 2014, 16, then Threat Management Gateway, and so on. So
you have been doing the threat modeling, if I may ask?
And then just and then continued working with security in Azure. And then I laid my hands on the first Azure Security Center. And then we had only 4 things. We had compute, networking, databases. And
that was my next question. What was the first security things implemented in Azure? That's why I was asking in these 10 years.
Only 4 things. It was very simple. Compute, databases, networking, and the fourth thing that I can't remember.
The storage, I suppose. The
Storage.
storage.
Excellent. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it.
So,
That
but
was
from
it.
security perspective, it was
Yeah.
covered who have access to which resources, if I may say like that.
Yeah, I
From
still remember
security
the
perspective.
dashboard. Very, very
Yeah.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because there was no security center in that period, if I remember good, or I'm
no,
wrong.
it was called Azure Security Center. So they tried to
Okay.
they introduced it a little bit later. Yeah.
Yeah. But on the beginning, basically, it was
Oh, on the very
everything
beginning, no,
about access.
yeah,
It
exactly.
was just
On the
access.
beginning, there wasn't any security because you had only admin and co-admin. So
Indeed.
that's why they moved to the Azure Resource Manager. Yeah,
Yeah, later on.
Azure Service
True.
Manager couldn't cope with security needs, so it was really bad for security. So no granular access and so on. So yeah,
True. And
yeah.
how from 2012 and now, if you open Azure, you will see a really huge difference, really complete
Oh,
different portal and all that stuff.
if you
What is
don't
the
work
most
7 days, you can see you consider
the name
exact.
is changed. Even the name can be changed, without noticing and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
What is the biggest challenge for you in these new days, if I may call it like that, with the security, with the cloud technologies, with all the projects that you are working, if I may ask like that? What is the biggest challenge for you?
The biggest challenge is actually staying staying
Up to
um,
date with
up to
information.
date with all the changes and the numerous stuff that actually come in, so that are coming. So that's the yeah, the changes are huge, and the amount of things that are coming, it's really, yeah, and
A
a
lot.
lot of products and a lot of features and security stuff and everything. So it's, yeah, it's opening up a new new
A lot of new
capabilities and
things, new
possibilities. Yeah,
capabilities.
yeah, exactly.
Last
A lot
week
of
or 2 weeks ago, one person came and he said, "Hey, Martin, I need help a little bit with Microsoft Defender." And I said, "Yeah, let's schedule a call. I will explain you." But I was thinking it's about how it's called, about Azure. And I said, "Yeah, no
ah
problem." And then he shared the screen. "Yeah, Martin, there is a Defender for Office 365. We need to put a filter about safe links, something like that." And I said, "Is there a Defender also for Office 365? I know there is something, but I didn't know that it's called Defender." So it's the same basically. And I completely, that's why, if I may say, I said this whole sentence, it's really tough also to follow all the changes, all the new capabilities, all the things, and all the stuff that is happening
yeah, you have
every
XYZ
day.
Defender, so it's yeah, Microsoft Defender, and then you have a lot of them. So this was basically the ATP products, the
Yeah, previously.
yeah, previously, but now a little bit streamlined. Actually, I think the name change is good because now we have
But we have the
Defender.
same name on the both sides. I think you mean on that is now the same in Azure, but the same in Office 365, Microsoft
Yeah,
Defender
like
XDR.
the things
XDR.
that are protecting something,
Yeah,
the security stuff. It makes sense. Yeah, like Microsoft
yeah.
Defender. Yeah, at least you know what it is. If you have, ATP, and then you have this and that, then you don't know what's going on. So, but yeah, this family of security products, I think it's good change. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. And it's connected. They communicate, and I think
oh,
the last time when I was exploring the security copilot, I'm quite happy to say that he's collecting all the informations, as you said, the streamline. He knows the
yeah,
streamline, and basically he just take the information. "Hey, Martin, this is what you need. This is what is happening here. La
exactly.
la la. This is the logs. This is that, and
Yeah,
so on
yeah.
and so on," which is how quite impressive. Instead of click here, click there, export, click, and find the
I
proper.
mean, yeah. If you take a look, if you have like 5 VMs or 10,
Yeah,
then it's or 50 users, then it's manageable. I mean, but the game changes when you go to hundreds, thousands of users and VMs, and tens and hundreds of thousands or millions of devices and different things, and thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of users. Then it's a little bit
true.
different, and then, yeah, you need some some help doing that.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. It's
yeah,
quite difficult in the big
yeah.
organization also. for me, it's really tough sometimes. Yeah, it's in the Defender. You will figure it out. Yeah, how can I figure it out? 20,000 people are working this organization. What
I
a
mean, yeah,
magician!
exactly. Then it's then you need some help. They need some help.
True, true,
Yeah,
true. That's quite true and quite relevant, if I may be honest.
yeah.
True.
And
Uh,
now I see the comment from Surgeon. It's commenting, yes, there
oh
was
yeah.
exchange 2005 exactly. I've
Five
exactly
before
I
that.
forgot about that. Thanks,
Okay.
thanks for
Okay.
reminding us for that. Yeah, thank you.
Indeed. True. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There is older people for those who listen. There is a lot of older
yeah,
people on the stream. That type
yeah,
of people, and they know all about it. I'm kidding,
yeah.
of course. Thank you, Surgeon Nate. Really appreciate. I didn't know, so that was maybe a good point for me. 5.5. I will Google it after this.
Yeah, yeah,
Just I'm curious to see how it looked like,
yeah.
because exchange was a big Sasha. Sorry on this, but it was bigger pain in the ass after the drive,
Oh
the
yeah.
jumpers.
Oh
The
yeah.
jumpers in my life were the first struggle. Then it was
Yeah.
the drivers. Yeah, this is not because I was working volunteering in the first year of high school. I was reinstalling computers in the how it's called service point. You know
Yeah.
where you reinstall viruses and all that stuff. And they didn't give me money, but they gave me 300 drivers. MCA, Asus, what was in that period? Intel, this for modem,
Everything.
for
Yeah.
what, for everything for the drivers. And then after I said, yeah, now I know everything. Then I tried to reinstall my computer. I cannot fix the drivers. I don't know what driver was from my motherboard, because if you remember, there was a circle where you just put the CDs,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then it
Exactly.
comes like a really
Yeah. There was a stack.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. So that was the struggle, and the next struggle, which was
Yeah.
really for me 2-3 years in a row. Somehow the projects for me were, maybe I was so lucky. Migrate Exchange 2003 to 2007, Migrate Exchange 2007 to 2013, Migrate Exchange, and then it come Office 365. I mean, so much struggle, so much
Yeah.
problems. How it's called, SMTP protocol is not working. Then I suppose you know better than me. With the exchange, you have the DMZ zone where you need
Yeah.
to have something for the SMTP. So that was the biggest. Then you need to align with the firewall and all that stuff. So it was really
Crazy
big
stuff.
challenges for me, crazy
Yeah.
stuff. Not enough on the internet. You read all the manuals, you reread the book Exchange
Yeah.
2007, and it was really pain in the ass with that exchange. That's why I was so curious to know what
Yeah.
is before Exchange 2000 and
Yeah,
2010.
that was also, we had a joke. There was a guy that ended up in heaven, and then he was asking the guy, please God, can you make me immortal? Oh no, that's too hard. Just say another wish.
Yeah.
Can you help me with migrating from Exchange 2003 to 7? Can you please go back to the first wish because it's easier? So
That's me. That's me.
that was yeah. And it's
Wow.
these kind of jokes because it was always something. Yeah.
Last week I went to give a training about something Azure Architect and all that stuff, and the people in a lot of countries,
Uh-huh.
they are saying basically that they still use the on-prem with the Office 365. So basically they are creating everything on the on-prem side. That's
Yeah.
2007 Exchange 2007.
Uh-huh.
There is no update, nothing basically. That's the funny, but they still do the double job, and they're afraid because they have so much legacy and they don't have a lot of manuals how to turn off that server. That's the biggest issue, and to do not lose the emails from
Yeah.
their CTO. And it's really tough. And I have been in that situation. I completely understand the worry.
Yeah.
It's really tricky part. And now it's completely Office 365. I don't know if something is happening on the Exchange side,
Yeah.
but it's really tough.
Yeah. Yeah. I stopped working with that some time ago. But yeah, maybe our colleague Vladimir Miloski
Yeah,
would know because
yeah.
he's a big fan guy.
True, that's true.
Yeah.
Vladimir would know this. True,
Yeah.
that is the experience. Let's be honest. You
Exactly.
started from the past and you have been through
Yeah.
all the journey. And now I'm saying usually for the people that are still looking how to start and learn about cloud, I think this is the
Yeah.
best time to be an entrepreneur or something. You buy Office 365 license, $6-7. You go with that, you connect with Active Directory, and you can
Yeah,
create a subscription. Done. Magic.
that's it.
You buy a tenant, a domain name, martin.com or something, sasha.com, whatever,
And
and
that's it.
basically that's it.
And then
And in
before
the
we had to do, the basic stuff, and then servers, and then
open a port DNS record, and the record cannot be
certificates, then
found.
SharePoint server, then Exchange and SQL, then and so on and so forth. But now we have a license, buy, and that's done.
Done easily. Last week, I think
Yeah.
last Saturday, 2 hours domain, setting
Yeah.
up the whole how to say tenant, 2 hours in total, verification, all the stuff, and ready to be how to say to start my company, if I may say like that.
Exactly.
And it's very
And it's
easy.
done.
And it past was very tough, if I may say like that.
Exactly.
How is the future looking to you, if I may ask, from the technology perspective?
So, I mean,
or let's not go from the future, maybe
security
2025.
Sorry?
For 2025, how it looks for you as on technology side? What do you expect in 2025 from the technology? I mean, last year was GPT, AI, models, this and that. In 1 year, we saw what everything happened. Co-pilots, this, that, pilots, airplanes everywhere, la, la, la. In 2025, what do you expect? If I may say like that.
Maybe a little bit better efficiency, and then a fine tuning of these AI tools, because now it's the hype, and like with the ChatGPT version 2 and 3, there was like some basic stuff, but if you look at the version 4 and 5, it's crazy. Then self-writing software, so basically we won't be. I don't know. Maybe there will be time where no programmers will be needed. You will just say, "Please write me a program with that, with this and that." If you take an analogy from going from low-level languages like assemblers, and to C and C++ and some higher level. So, and then now you look at the Power Platform and so on. So maybe the level of abstraction is changing rapidly. So maybe tomorrow, I don't know.
And I think, sorry.
Oh no, I just wanted to say that maybe our life will be a little bit easier because of the better tools. So if you're using Copilot in Visual Studio Code, for example, then it's very, very good. And of course, you need to know programming, you need to know PowerShell, you need to know KQL or C++. But instead of doing things in 6 hours, you can do something in an hour. So
the productivity it's increased. I agree.
Maybe refinement of these tools. Maybe we are a little bit too far from these things working for us autonomously. But maybe if the smart people will find a way how to take these tools into their advantage. There's some surprisingly the best AI adopters are not the IT companies, but non-IT companies like retail, for example, and other stuff, and other non-IT companies, because these have gained a lot of they figured out how to utilize AI the best, better than the IT companies, right? So still the adoption is not very, very high. If you look at some researches and reports, the adoption is really, the adoption. So like 80% of the people are experimenting, and only 10% or 5% are actually really having some return on investment on it. But these are not non-IT companies that have these. So I think maybe, and AI, of course. And then since you will have this way how to handle the data better efficiently, then as you said, Fabric will also be the thing. And then when there you have data, and a lot of data, then is always some bad people that want to get hands on that data. So, and then that means that we security people will have more work. So it was
A lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So,
Yeah, I agree completely. The only thing that I think now, it went too fast in my view, and I
yeah.
think last last Sunday when I was flying to Oslo, I was thinking I didn't watch anything and so on. It was board flight and all the stuff. I was thinking a little bit chill in my mind. I think maybe this year is the year 2025 that where it will a little bit come down a little
Yeah.
bit, not a lot, and focus, as you said, on the efficiency, improving what we
Yeah.
already have.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe they
Yeah,
will
because
find.
this went really fast. Let's be honest, Sasha. We
Yeah.
wake up one day, we have ChatGPT, the next day Copilot, then a lot of other Copilots, AI Studio, models. Yeah, you can use Llama, Mama, whatever they are, and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Click, done. It went
Yeah.
really like I don't know, so fast in 1 month, maybe in total. It
Exactly.
went so new things and all that stuff.
And then it
Wow.
opens up, so it opens up, when you have these things, then okay, we can crunch some data and we can, do some stuff with that. So ask some LLM about that, and forget it. Yeah, Power
But
BI is gonna be also, yeah,
Power BI, it's I think
visualization and some,
yeah, at
data
this moment
intelligence
it's
and
one
so
of the
on.
most used, together with Azure, one of the
Yeah,
most used services, as far as I heard or I
yeah,
read somewhere. It's
yeah,
really all the companies reporting. So I think a lot of data is going somewhere. So I think the security people like me and you will have more work
and
next
I
year.
think I read the research. I don't know whose research was,
Yeah,
whether it was Gartner or someone else's. I don't know.
yeah, yeah,
But up until this year, I think the biggest, the most valuable asset in the world was oil,
yeah.
and
True,
today is data.
true.
So I think, yeah, I've read that more than 50%, like more valuable is data
Yeah,
than the. Yesterday it was oil,
yeah.
today is data, and probably is going to be even more valuable tomorrow. So yeah,
Next year especially it will be well, to be completely honest with you, and last 2 3 months I went to a couple of conferences.
uh
Yeah,
huh.
show me the QR code and they will just click, scan. Basically
That
everyone wants to get the data, so
that's it. So,
your email address, name, surname, mobile number, or
everything.
whatever. So
Yeah,
it's everyone is grabbing the data. So I hope it
yeah,
will not
yeah.
finish in the wrong hands sometimes, and that is what I'm saying. So I
But
hope that the
yeah,
people will use for normal stuff. Let's call it like that. Marketing,
yeah, yeah,
it's okay stuff. Let's be honest.
yeah.
So let's see. Good.
But also we
What
need
was? Yeah.
education as well, because I've heard someone said, okay, I'm not giving my picture to the government because the government will know. I mean, yeah.
True.
So we need some
True.
education, because the government already has your picture because you have a passport and you have an ID and you have a driving license, so it's already there. So and your
True.
address and
True.
everything, your taxes and and everything.
Oh,
So there
all
there
the
you go.
information's about you.
But
So the country have
but
it
it
already. So
exactly,
you
yeah.
don't
But
need to send the latest picture from Facebook, but they have already a picture from you, so you don't need to
exactly.
worry about.
Yeah, but securing the
Oh,
data, and yeah,
yeah.
it is going to be also challenging. Yeah.
Indeed. True. My last question. What was your last book? What you finish read it basically?
The last book, it was
Yes.
this one. It was The Influence of Cialdini.
Cialdini. What is that about?
This one.
Ah, the yellow book. Okay. I didn't know that it's influenced the psychology. Yeah. I have seen. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
seen. Nice.
Yeah. But also,
Nice.
yeah, it was a steal, at the local, well, not local, it was the
Yeah.
book fair. So yeah.
Yeah. So you bought the new book.
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect. My friend, I really appreciate. I really want to say thank you from bottom of my heart, and thank you that you accepted this. And I'm happy to say that the full month in November I'm finishing with one of the most famous and one of my idols, to be honest, finishing this interview this month. So thank you for you
Thanks
coming
a lot.
and joining, and we will catch up, I suppose,
Thank you
soon.
for the invitation.
Yeah, mate. You're more than welcome. I think next time when you will publish some another book, because you have a lot of books published, you will come here again and we will continue the discussion, if I may say.
Definitely.
Perfect. Thank you one more time, mate, and see you. Thank you all, and
Thanks a
bye
lot.
bye. Yeah.
Thanks. Cheers.
Bye.